Disclaimer. Thank you for joining us on The Referee. As a precaution, we encourage those with sensitive ears to kindly, expletive coming, fuck off. This is The Referee. And welcome to the first edition of The Referee. Referee. No, I'm just messing with you. So, no, my name is Lucky. I'm a owner of an entertainment company, a vocal singer, and a loud mouth. We're just gonna go with that. Sure, a lot more can be described. But pretty much what I want to do is I want to go ahead and reach out to my community and just have this conversation, start some podcast dialogue, and pretty much give a different perspective that I feel like not everybody looks at. And I mean, I hate to admit it, but like the only person that's out there like and very much talking of African nation is like Don Lemon, whatever the heck his name is. And I don't even know if he's half black. He just acts it, and I'm like I relate to him, but just sometimes I hear what he says. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So just a precursor real quick. This is not going to be strictly political. It definitely will have political topics, and we'll also talk about random stuff. We'll talk about anything that the callers will call in and talk about. But pretty much the main reason is to go ahead and just offer a different perspective in this very, very tough, confusing. I mean, I don't even know how to describe. What I saw during the riots, and they rioted legitimately 2 football fields away from my house, and the entire block was desecrated. And it's funny, on the news all I hear is just like, oh, it's all Antifa, and it's liberal whites, and they're destroying America. Well, you know what? I definitely walked the entire time for about 45 minutes up and down my street, and the only white people there, or even outside, were police, firefighters, and paramedics, as they were trying to put out the fire that people decided to set the Dollar Tree on fire. So, when I get told that, it's hard for me to just go, okay, yeah, it's only the white people who are trying to support Black Lives Matter in a completely fascist and anarchist way. But yeah, so that's just my personal experience. Clearly, I wasn't trying to walk around too long, as I am not highly native to Chicago. I might have come here throughout my life, but I don't call myself a Chicagoan or, I'm a fucking Bourbonite all day, every day. Represent, But then again, that's why I think, in my opinion, my perspective is valid. I've experienced my fair share of racism. I'm experiencing on a regular day, like, just watching people's reactions to me, because they have no idea. I don't usually just randomly talk to people in public. Sometimes. If I'm with friends or whatever, I feel comfortable, then I'll do that. But, for the most part, people are just looking at me, and they just see this, like, slightly obese black, they think I'm black. Well, I'm not sure what they think. Some people, I'm sure, are like, are you Puerto Rican? I don't even know, and no one knows who my dad is. So, fun fact. You just put me through some trauma. Not really. It's not like that. But, yeah, if you didn't know, I'm adopted as well. So, kind of hard to be a black guy in America. Being told by a lot of black people that I am supposed to not like white people when I was adopted, raised, taken care of, loved all by white people. It's hard. And yeah, I was very sheltered. So I'm not going to lie, my experience with black people is quite limited to my music industry career that's been going on, which man, I love black people. Fucking awesome. I just wish I had a lot of this excitement and like the culture that comes along with being black while I was growing up. That would have been fantastic. But obviously, you can't get everything you want in life. And I'm very grateful for my life. So let's go into, our newest topics that we could talk about. I went ahead and just for this first podcast, since I'm not sure what everybody likes or what they want to talk about, I just went to the CNN national news. They got all these different things that I've been watching. I've been watching CNN, Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, Joe Rogan, countless Democrat-led news agencies, also Republicans such as Fox, even though they pissed Donald Trump off and he doesn't exactly love them right now. But for the most part, I've been pretty much paying attention to all the politics that are going on, just so that way when I'm talking, I know about it, but I also don't want to know too much that I'm coming off as robotic. I'm a fucking human, and everybody else is. I'm a human. I'm not a fucking human. I'm gonna bleep this out. I'm gonna try not to have any cursing on this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and bleep those out. Yeah, I'm human. I'm not anything special. I don't think anyone is special. I think everyone is identically the same. I do think that you need to identify the importance of other people when the intelligence level is very beneficial for the community and the world. And that is where you earn your respect. If you can contribute back to the society in a very positive way, then you are valuable. You still aren't better than the guy who, is crippled in a wheelchair. You're no better than that guy, but you have value. So I could see where it's like, okay, let's at least, try to focus some of our attention, or I would say not a majority, but, like a 60-40 attention scale to the person who's actually, maybe going to create something. Not to say that anybody crippled can't create stuff, because low-key, I got some boss-ass crippled friends that'll shit on any of my able-bodied friends in a heartbeat. I mean, shoot. Most people don't know this about me, but I used to date someone from the hard of hearing world and the deaf world. And let's just say the coolest people I have met, the most wholesome people I have met, have been from that community, because they've been able to avoid the tampering of people's opinionated news getting literally hammered into your head every single day of the week. Because 24-hour news, that's the greatest thing for America. Oh, my God. Because we can't wait 2 or 3 days to find shit out. But anyways, that's also what's contributing to the whole entire, rioting and all that stuff right now. So let's go to our first one. We have... Dun, 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 dun. I don't want to talk about that, but NFL owner and Trump ambassador to UK accused of making racist and sexist remarks. Sorry, ladies, but another douchebag exists in this world. Shoot some ideas. This is going to be one I'm going to pass off to the callers. Call in. On this first podcast, we don't obviously have callers, but just stay tuned, because next week we're going to have legitimately 20 minutes dedicated strictly to answering calls, and it could be anything. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to get those random people that are calling, I'm going to have to bleep that too. But, point being is, let's just call in, talk about something. I don't know, tell me how your day is. What's going on? Are you experienced or affected by coronavirus that's going, the C word, I can't say that. I'm going to have to bleep that too. The virus. Oh, the virus. All right, so here we go. This mom donated her lottery winnings to a wounded police officer. Now the community is paying her back. See, that is awesome. Because in my opinion, I don't think the police should be defunded. I think... I definitely think we should take away all their play toys. I don't know why they need all the tanks. I mean, I totally understand Trump, gave these things to the police departments because they were just sitting in stockpile storage. So I'm sure he needed it for something else because he was, building new stuff for the military and all that. But the point being is you literally just gave military vehicles to a police department and then expected them to not use it or to... use it in a very hippie kind of peace for all love, and they're called peace officers, so why would you give them military shit? I mean, I'm all for depowering the police. I don't think that the police should have much more power than me as a citizen, because why would I want that? Why would I want someone literally being able to loom over me, drag me out of my car, put me in handcuffs, throw me in the back? I mean, I'm a very well-spoken guy. I normally am not in trouble. Everything that I've done in my life, I can guarantee, is nowhere close to half the shit that my friends tell me about. But obviously, I'm too scared to get into it because I just suck at living a badass lifestyle. Hence why I have 2 felonies and my friends do not. Because they knew to not tell the officer where the drugs. It's crazy how, I'm not going to lie, both of my experiences with the police are ridiculously stupid. The first time, I'm going to make these super quick stories, but the first time being, I literally was in Prospect Heights waiting to pick up a friend that was not on the schedule to pick up, but of course, I'm not driving, so somebody else has the scheduler. And we get to this guy's apartment, at which he's not coming out. And they, in a parking lot, in a car that is running, decide to whip out a 2.5-foot bong and proceed to smoke marijuana in the back of the car. Now, I'm not going to say I didn't partake in that, but I also was constantly telling them, we can't just sit here. It's not a good idea. Now, I shit you not, a police officer rolls by. And I go, we need to leave, at which point they still didn't want to leave. They said, oh, no, I'm too fucked up. Like, we just smoked weed. We didn't just take 17 tabs of acid and wait 35 minutes and that shit just started to kick in type shit. No, we smoked a bong. And, oh, my God, I said, you have 5 minutes before I knock you out, and I drive the car. Because I'm not sitting here any longer type shit. And literally 2 minutes later, the cop comes, blocks us in. And my naive ass, just answers the questions exactly how they're supposed to go. Where are the drugs? Right here. Hand them over. Whose are they? They're mine. They're not theirs. Okay. Whose weed? It's mine as well. Because, well, I didn't know that I was about to just fuck myself to the next century. I'll tell you that much. And then, you get tossed into a court system, and they don't look at me as half black. They look at me as full black, and that's where I understood that there really is an issue with how black people are treated in the prison system and the jail system and the police departments. It wasn't until they noticed how intellectually I was speaking that then they decided to stop treating me like I was an animal, as a quote from one of the officers. I don't remember that douchebag's name who came in. There was another officer there who was clearly a nice guy who was just doing his job, and that's why it's like kind of fucked up how you definitely want to point out all the good cops, but there's always that other one lurking in the background. And there is honestly no solution for that. The solution is weed them out when they happen. And it's something where, is this the last black guy that's ever going to be killed by police? No. Will there be fewer? I fucking hope so. Because it's more or less, I don't care if they're black, white, Asian, Native American, Pakistani, Indian, you name it, I don't give a damn what they are. I don't want to see people die. I hate death. It's terrible. I lost my dad when I was 14, and it fucked my whole entire family up. And I, to this day, will let everyone know, when I witness you guys argue with your parents or anything, I'll say, hey, man, spend like 2 hours or something like that thinking about it, but then you really do got to get back in there and make that right. Because you never know the last time you're going to see your parent, especially in 2020 with coronavirus. I mean, hell, you can't even fucking go visit your loved one sometimes, you don't know anything, and that's why I'm saying just make sure you pay attention to that. Second time, similar scenario. I was parked on a friend's driveway, though, so I thought private property would be the best way to be. smoking weed again. Once again, not doing hardcore illegal drugs. I just had them in my car because of idiots that I've had with me. And I'm not going to lie, I did have a small drug problem that I corrected myself, but then I had to like uber correct because I thought I ruined my whole life. I went to rehab. That put a whole stigma on me. Yeah, I don't want to go down my drama story today in this podcast. Don't worry. If you guys request it, we'll go down. But just kind of going back, I think that's crazy good that, a mom donated her lottery winnings to the police officer, and then the community was like, no, you still deserve that money. What do you mean? Like, you played the lottery fair and square, you won the money, and then you were just super fucking amazing? That's awesome. All right, in that case, we're going to pay you that back. That's awesome. But I would also argue that that does not happen with, like, local businesses unless somehow the local business is put on a flippin' pedestal or something. Then people will, take you seriously as a business. I'm not going to lie. I've been telling people that, hey, I have my entertainment company, which I do. I have all the equipment that you would need for an entertainment company. Obviously getting more by the fucking week. But point being is no one wants to even entertain that conversation because of the fact that you're just a human in front of them. You're not McDonald's coming in, saying, oh, we got a new business. You're not a wealthy dude in a suit saying, hey, yo, I got this incredible studio. I don't believe in having to be the highest of presented at all times. I mean, be clean. Don't be fucking dirty. Wear some clean clothes and stuff. But I rock Walmart, because one, it's efficient. Two, Walmart, yeah, they're not the greatest company in the world, but they definitely understand the price point for people who can't afford stuff. And if you're going to sit here and say Walmart's such a terrible person, then what about the millions of people who rely on Walmart every day to literally live? Paycheck-wise, food, they literally sell almost anything you could think of. I don't want to do a Walmart plug. They're not paying me yet. But anyways, let's go to the next, I guess we can call it topic or something here. 3 arrested in killings of 3 men who were going fishing in Polk County, Florida. I don't know if you guys heard about this. This is crazy ridiculous as to the pettiness that people can have in today's society to then devalue a life. Is a car or a life more important? Now, I understand if you lose your car and your car was your life and your livelihood. But in this case, that wasn't the case. This dude had no livelihood, had 236, I'm not stuttering, 236 felony charges. That is ridiculous. I have 2, and I'm not going to lie, they happened so quick. In my opinion, they happened so quick. But from his age 12 to 26, so that is 14 years. In 14 years, 236 felony charges, 2 prison terms, and he was out on bond for breaking someone's arm with a crowbar. So with all of that said, this is petty. This is very petty. Because clearly this guy thinks everything is not petty, therefore reacts that way. So he coerced, actually, I think from what it sounds like this guy legitimately, found out the location of the guy who I guess took his truck, sold his engine, something like that. I don't know. And went over there to confront him with a gun. That's the smartest thing to do in a situation where you could just civilly sue the dumbass. I don't even want to say dumbass because low-key it sounds like the victims in this case, the 3 kids, were legitimately like, I don't want to put a religion on them, but like just to put a picture on what they described in the police conference that I spent 30 minutes watching, because low-key you have to respect the fact that these 3 guys died a horrific death. But there was 0 beer cans. They weren't even drinking and fishing. They were literally just fishing. And then they were followed by this guy, Tony, TJ, and his 2 friends, his girlfriend and his brother. They followed these guys over to the lake, confronted them, at which point one of the kids, I think his name was Brandon, decided to call his dad and ask for help. Clearly wasn't quick enough to get the help because in the process, which I'm sure was only a few minutes, or so, had to only been like, I would say 10, 20 minutes or something like that because it's a rural area, so it's not like, if you're going to the lake, it's probably 20 minutes away from your house or something like that. So it took him like 20 minutes to get there, and the dad has to literally come upon all three of the dead bodies. Like, they're literally dead bodies just laying in trucks because they assassinated this guy, and then he assassinated the people that were there. And then they drove the fuck off, went to McDonald's, ordered 10 cheeseburgers, 2 McChickens, called it a night, and went to bed. In their trailer park with no running water, no facilities, no electricity besides 2 generators. That's the condition these people are living in. And then you wonder why people are the way they are. There is no humanity. And I think I'm going to go ahead and end this podcast with this statement. This world is not doomed, okay? But we are definitely on the road to becoming a very dehumanized people. We talk about third world countries. We talk about foreign countries that are just unbearable to even think about, the disrespect they show the people that are supposedly, their culture, their community, and not every, obviously there's good countries out there as well. I'm not hating on any foreign country whatsoever besides those that clearly, and I'm not going to mention any of them because you can just do your own research. Like, P, I don't want to fucking make it sound like I'm making political statements too much. I'm definitely trying to let you guys know about the news, but I want to do it in a way where I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. And that's why when I have the phone call situation, make sure to call in, discuss, call me out, let me know, fact check me in the moment. That's the whole point of this. I'd love to bring on some guests, so if you have anybody who is specializing in any fields, do anything like that, shoot an email over to shycityluckyentertainment@gmail.com. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Once again, shycityluckyentertainment@gmail.com. Ending this podcast with humanity needs to be put first. And that means when you see the homeless person, give them the damn dollar. Give them the damn dollar so maybe when 15 to 20 people give them those money, they got $20, they don't just go and get the alcohol. Because you have to understand, when you have more money than you know what to do with, you stop doing your habits and you start doing new things. Now, I'm not saying load these homeless people up with everything, and I'm not saying you have to always give them money. But give them advice, Even if they don't want to hear it, you still tell them it, and guess what? They heard it. What can they do? Unhear it? Nope, they can't do that. And if they're clearly, needing help for anything else, it's the type of thing you just call, not the police. There are organizations that legitimately deal with homeless people and try to help relocate them. Call those companies. You can literally just Google how to help a homeless person, and they will come up with all the companies. And that's just one part of society. If you see your neighbor is poor, if you see your neighbor struggling, help your neighbor out. I'm the type of guy who I literally have gone broke, and guess what? I'm still alive, all because I wanted to just help a friend get to his job or help a friend get to the studio to record a new album or a new song or whatever it is so that way he can be on the radio. Be that person who helped the other guy out. Don't be the guy who is sitting there hating on the dreams. Don't be the woman sitting there hating on the dreams. Don't be the person who doesn't believe in your neighbor just strictly because you either hate the idea of believing in someone else or just because of the fact that you've never tried it. Because if you don't like believing in other people, then honestly, that's the one point where you would lose my humanity. You don't believe, why are you here on earth? I'm not saying everybody has to be the most communal in the world, but you definitely have to sit there and question yourself as to, if I'm on earth for a limited amount of time and do absolutely nothing to benefit the earth, the people in it, or any of the societal, cultures that have been set up, nothing at all, what did I do? And this has nothing to do with Christianity. It has nothing to do with Islam. It doesn't have to do anything with religion, period. This is me telling you straight up, be a good person. I'm not saying don't get mad. I'm not saying don't cuss your friend out when you're pissed off. Just be human. We all make mistakes. It's when you hear that mistake and you're able to grow, and not only grow, but progress so far forward, it's not even funny. I've done so much progressing in the last few years. I mean, I literally, I think I do owe you guys like a full podcast as to what I've gone through in my life, because I mean, most people don't have the time to sit down and listen to a podcast, which is why I'm starting one, because I only want to speak to the people who do. Because how do you not have time in your 100-year life that you're going to live to sit down for however many minutes? You don't even have to sit down for an entire podcast to learn something out of it. And I'm not saying that I'm fucking, philosophy, wisdom coming out here at all. I'm literally just talking out of what I've learned, my reasoning behind it, and I'm just trying to help the conversation move forward, because all I see is one side or one of the other side. So this is the referee talking to you at least once a week, and we're going to try to make it even better than that. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. It's been a pleasure talking with everybody today, even though I know no one's here. Ha! And when I get the phone call stuff going and the live podcast on air, which we will be streaming on YouTube for the podcast, this one I'm going to go ahead and post on SoundCloud. I may post it on all platforms in regards to podcasting, as I do have the ability. Let me know in the comments or wherever you find this. Let me know. Hit up Shy City Lucky Entertainment at gmail.com, or you can give us a call at 224-580-4888. We'd love to get your customer. That's how you know I've had too many jobs in the service industry. We'd love to get your feedback, and Lucky Entertainment is here to stay. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, the first ever podcast of The Referee, coming to you with neutral point of views, or as neutral as I could be, because clearly every person is biased. Those who disagree, well, you're not going to like this podcast, because I'm calling everybody out that needs to be called out, but not canceling them, because guess what? Freedom of speech, freedom of expression. I don't know why the hell you can cancel people just because. Just don't watch the show. Yeah, that's another way of canceling someone, rather than calling them out and just getting them flat out fired. Because, last time I checked, 6ix9ine should have just donated all his money that he made off that live. 2 million people on your live. There's no way he didn't make money on Instagram for that. So my whole entire, why didn't he donate that? You look like a crappy person to the world because, you snitched. You broke the one rule you can't break in the world. And you can't even do anything good with the money you're making out of it. Let's see the good. Let's see it. That's all I'm saying. And let that be a challenge to everyone listening. Let's see the good. Let's see it. I've been screwed over so many times just because I'm always trying to find the good in people. And I know some people don't have it there at the time that I'm, interacting with them. But everybody has good in them. So let's just keep trying to pull it out of people. How many times can you hit a guy that's saying, I love you? And not in some way where, or a woman, how many times can you hit a person that's literally just going, I love you? And if you can hit that person, there's a lot more questions that you need to ask yourself than I could even spend enough on a podcast to ask you. So in that case, this is The Referee, Lucky Love, signing out. Love you guys. Until next time.